When your hunger gets big, Benny's gets bigger.
Benny's fills your inner space while you're in outer space.
Big Benny noodles, so yum, so wow.
Howdy, welcome to Around the Verse, Star Citizen's Development Weekly Update. I'm Jake Ross, producer here in the Austin studio.
And I'm John Erskine. I'm the director here in the Austin studio, and I'm the vice president of publishing for Cloud Imperium Games.
Welcome to Austin's segment of our 100th episode of Around the Verse. If you've been tuning in the past couple of weeks, we have a weekly update from LA 2 weeks ago and one from the UK last week, and this week it's Austin's turn in the spotlight. So we got a studio tour we're going to show you guys, and so a detailed look at some of our development going on here in the Austin studio by folks like Rob Reinigers, lead technical designer, Ember Switzer, lighting artist, Mike Pickett, systems and IT engineer, and Josh Coons, one of our ship artists here. So. But first, I want to talk about the latest Star Citizen news.
Yeah, that's awesome. We've worked really hard to put together a great show this week. We've got lots of cool stuff to show you. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what people are working on right now in the studio? Yeah,
so globally we're working towards the Star Citizen Alpha 2.5, and there are folks here in Austin who are working towards that release as well, particularly on the Grimhex space station. Which is more of our, it's a new kind of piratey outlaw station that will be provide an opportunity to spawn in different locations besides just Port Olisar. So we're really excited about that. We'll see a bit more detail there in the studio updates here in a little bit. We're also working towards Gamescom, which is a few short weeks away now.
Cool. It's coming right up. Yeah, I mean, that's all really exciting. Mm-hmm. And hey, if you've been thinking about checking out Star Citizen, or if you have a friend who wants to check out Star Citizen, we have a free fly promotion that starts tomorrow. In order to check it out, you just have to create an account on our website, download the game, and then you can just log in and you can check out the Crusader module, you can check out Arena Commander, you can check out the whole game, and then that's going to run for a week. So that's a cool promotion for anybody that finds out about it or you want to share with them. Tell them to check it out.
Cool. And we just upgraded the account security system, is that right?
That's right. Just this week, we launched a new system developed by our platform team that enables multi-factor authentication. So this adds a significant layer of security to your account if you turn it on. You can have device identification that is either confirmed by email or through a secondary app on your smartphone. We developed our own RSI app, which is available on iOS and Android, or you can use other popular apps like Authy or the Google Authenticator or Microsoft's Authenticator as well. If you want to check this out, just go to your My RSI account under the account settings and look for a new tab on the left side that says Security. You can turn it on. It's super easy to set it up. I encourage everybody to do that to protect your account.
Yeah, I've already done mine. It's a real quick and easy process.
Super simple.
Yeah, it's great.
Super simple.
And then there were shirts. On the merchandising front, we have the new long-awaited Big Benny's themed shirt that will premiere in the Pledge store tomorrow. I know a lot of people are looking forward to this, and as am I. I'll be one of the first ones in the Pledge store to get mine. So
cool.
Look forward to that.
Big Benny's a hit. You're going to hear more about Benny later in the show. But hey, enough of us. Why don't we take a little tour of the Austin studio and find out what's been going on this month? Mm-hmm. Hey everybody, welcome to Austin. I'm John Erskine and I'm the studio director here. Let's take a little tour of the studio. Follow me. Hey Justin, how's it going?
Hey John, pretty good.
Good.
Welcome to the QA room, everybody.
Cool. This is Justin Binford. He's our QA director for CIG, and he's stationed here in Austin. You want to tell us a little bit about what the QA team's working on right now?
Yeah, this week we got on our plate 2.5, or what the build will be later become 2.5, and that is the pirate-based Grimhex and the flyable Reliant, among other things. And some other stuff we're working on is we have some dedicated testers working on first-person shooter mechanics. The latest thing they've been touching is the cover system. And we also have back here the dedicated testers for Squadron 42, and they've been working on lately the procedural planetary tech, and they've been remarking how cool it is to transition from space to planet in the context of the Squadron 42 missions.
Awesome. And we just within the last hour and a half, launched the new multi-factor authentication system as well, right?
That's another thing we've been testing lately is the two-factor authentication, and we're really happy to finally roll that out to everybody.
Cool. Seems like it's smooth. We found a couple of things immediately, and I think we've already made a little patch in the back end, so it's all looking good.
And here we have Andrew Hesse, the QA manager, and he's working on profiling some of the builds to make sure that the GrimHex pirate base doesn't tell the engineers exactly like what kind of performance hit it might have.
Cool. Let's go see if we can find Mike Jones and talk to some of the DevOps guys a little bit. We're going to walk through this way. Hey everybody, wave hello to the camera. Hey there. Hey, don't show there. You guys can't wave. Sorry. Hey everybody. Let's see if we can find Mike. Hey Mike, you around?
Hello, John.
Hey everybody. This is Mike Jones. He's our IT director and heads up lots of different things for CIG, including the DevOps team and the LiveOps team that are right here along this kind of long row. Mike, do you want to introduce us to the team? Maybe we could stop and talk to Ahmed a little bit and see how things are going?
Sure. Right here we have our DevOps team. Behind this team we have BuildOps and our game support team. We also have Ahmed at the end and some of the test support group. Our IT team is spread throughout some high security locations in the building, so we won't be able to see them today.
Okay, cool.
And here's Ahmed.
You keep them behind locked doors is what you're saying?
Try to, yeah.
For their safety or ours?
I think it's for everyone.
Okay, good. All right. Hey Ahmed, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
Nice to stop by, John.
So tell us what you've been working on.
So we have been working on automating everything that we can automate, making our delivery time for all kind of builds faster, and we manage day-to-day for all our environments, BTU, Live, and QA.
Yep. And we just in the month of June finished a major push for 2.4.
Yep.
And another update to 4.1. And so now you have a little bit of quiet time to work on automation.
True, yeah. We have a lot of changes coming down the line for deployment pipeline, changes in tech we're using, moving more towards data-driven automation. So it's going to be awesome.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks for showing us. Thanks for talking to us.
Yeah,
cool.
Thank you for stopping by.
Let's pop in on the animation team and see if Brian's around. You can see we got a little space for growth here in the studio. We've got some more people coming on board soon. So let's see if we can find Brian. Hey Brian, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Hey, this is Brian Brewer. Many of you have seen him before and know him well. He's the head of our animation team here in Austin. You want to tell us a little bit about what you guys are working on?
We are building an exciting, impressive, living, breathing universe. We're bringing good things to life. I don't know how else to put it. But I think we're going to be very impressed with, or you guys are going to be very impressed with what you're going to be seeing coming down the pipeline here.
Cool. You guys always have fun toys here with your guns and all kinds of stuff, and I always enjoy looking at what everybody has on their screens. But a lot of this we're going to see soon with some of the Gamescom demos and some of the FPS modules that are coming up.
Oh, most definitely. Most of our props here, when we're doing motion capture, but we do use them a lot. Like we go into here, let me show you an example here. So like whenever you go into a shop because you want to buy a weapon, we get this. We get a little GoPro. We stick it on our head, and we sit there and we go, how are we gonna inspect this weapon? And we're just like doing this little thing, and then charge the handle, drop the clip, whatever. And we use this. We shoot all this reference video. We create a library so that we can go back and hand key or do whatever we need to later as reference.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, thanks for the quick stop. We appreciate it.
Sure, no problem.
Awesome.
See you guys later.
Great. Everybody want to stand up and wave and give a look? We've got people peeking over their monitors. All right.
I guess, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Cool. So this is our animation. We've got some designers here in Austin. I think you're going to get a full report from Tony in another segment, so I'll leave him off of the tour today. So this concludes our tour, everybody. Thanks very much.
Bye.
Hey guys, Jake Ross here, producer of the Austin studio, and here's a studio update for you from the CIG Austin. So this week we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the 2.5.0 release, as well as some other things. We want to talk about patch reduction, GrimHex, a ship update. Let's kick things off with Mike Pickett, Systems and IT Engineer here in Austin, to discuss patch reduction.
So what happens is when you go to patch the game now, what you'll do is download just this metadata, which is very thin. It's still pretty big because it's a lot of data, but very, very thin. And you will only download the data that you need, say the new files, the updated files, that sort of thing. Old files, of course, will be removed. We looked at, say, a 30 version history for your average customer, and those versions are about 30 gig in size. And the average customer would download about 900 gigabytes worth of data, which is big. That's close to a terabyte. With the new system, we're actually looking about less than about a gig, because although we put out a lot of art, most of the new data is actually not as large, and there's a smaller subset of updated data. So we're pretty excited about it. We think you guys are going to like it.
All right, let's jump over to Imre Switzer, lighting artist here in Austin, to talk a little bit about a deep dive into the lighting updates for GrimHex Station, as well as some more generic art updates as well.
Hey guys, I'm working on GrimHex, which is one of the pirate-based environments we're launching in 2.5. It's a really exciting environment to work on. There's a lot of stuff to do within it. We got a bunch of shops that you can go shopping in, as well as some corridors you can have some firefights in. So let's jump right in, show you guys around. So this basically is the mood board that we got from our art directors, which showcases the direction that we want to go with the level. So in here you can see that we want to go super saturated and kind of neon noir. It's a lot of contrast, a lot of reds and blues, and just it's a really cool lighting setup to go with because it's something that we haven't really done before. So if I go over to our actual level here, see how that executed into the level. So I'll just fly around a bit here. This is our beautiful corner, which is the part of the environment that we take to 100% first, just to get a feel for how everything will look in the end. So I'll fly around here a little bit. Another thing that we kind of focused on was integrating the shops a little bit more into the environment. So there isn't like a single door that you go into to go into a shop. You can kind of just come down this alley and see all the clothing just hanging there that you can try on and purchase. So one of the really interesting things that we've been working on is coupling the light entities with the actual light fixtures themselves. This is something that's completely new to CryEngine that we purpose-built for this environment. So when the lights actually flicker in the level, the actual emissives on the assets will flicker as well. And so this makes it look a lot less fake, and it makes the environment seem more cohesive, as you can change the light style, which is basically an animation that we apply to the lights, and the actual fixture will change to match that. So if we change the brightness, for example, to 0 on this light, not only will the light within the scene change, the actual emissive will change as well, which is pretty significant. That tech hasn't existed before, and it's something that's really powerful for us to make the environments again feel more cohesive and realistic.
Good stuff. All right, let's jump over to Rob Reiniger, lead technical designer here in Austin, to talk a little bit about GrimHex and some shopping updates.
Hey, I'm Rob Reiniger, lead technical designer in the ATX office. We're going to show you a little bit more about shopping and the shops coming up in the GrimHex station, so let's get to it. All right, first shop we got here for you is Scudder's, and it's a weapons shop. Kind of somebody who's just a little sick of the UEE, just kind of wants to get in, get his money. He knows he's kind of selling weapons to people that are probably not going to do very good things with them, but doesn't really care at this point, just fed up. That's why he's out here at GrimHex. But he sells a combination of mostly things geared towards outlaws. You can see the armor over here. It's kind of a combo shop. One thing that we wanted to do was make sure that not every shop was just the standard format, you know. So this is a weapon shop, this is an armor shop. Like, things need to have character, and the one way to do that is to make sure that we constantly, you know, cycle out the inventory as we go throughout the universe, you know. So the next shop that we got here is run by a drug addict. So it's he's just kind of tucked away in the back alleys over here. He's living out of the back of his shop. So the inventory he's got is kind of this mishmash of different items. This is not representative of the items that he's going to have. I'll give you a little showcase of what's coming up, but this is just for proxy work to make sure everything is looking the way we want it to. But as you can see, he's kind of living here in the back, dimly lit place. Doesn't look very clean. He's not really a clean type of guy. So it's real small. We were trying to go for the Chinatown flea market kind of feel. He's got stuff hanging from the rafters up here. So it's hopefully just going to kind of give a little more character and help continue that, outlaw. We just kind of do things in our own little chaotic way type of feel that the Grimhex station has. So the other thing that I kind of put together for you here before we get out of here is this is example of some of the clothing that is coming online here pretty soon. We got some new boots, we got a new jacket, we got the little outlaw bandana coming online. To give you a little showcase of some of the other items that we got. We don't have them in game quite yet, but and just a disclaimer, these may change a little bit before they get in game, but we got a couple of different hats coming online. Wide variety. We get a different leather jacket here that's a little more kind of bad boy feeling. Much different variety of shirts that deviates a lot from what we had in the first release. Just kind of a different feel than what we had. Every release, at least for the near future, we want to try and get a different, facilitate a different group of people within our world. So that way we can build the world out a little bit better and make it feel much more unique. You'll see a much different blend of people kind of walking around the stations throughout the universe.
Now let's go over to Josh Coons, ship modeler here in Austin, to talk a little bit about an update on the Herald.
The Herald's come a long way since the last time you saw it. We were at about 50-60% with the gray box. We're at about 80-85%. We've got some remaining finer details, the nuts and bolts, if you will, finer decals, a little bit of interior work to do, mostly cockpit related and design related. We're going back and forth between design and art when it comes to gameplay. So those are the remaining art tasks. It's shaping up to be a really, really nice ship, and I can't wait for it to be done. And you guys get to fly it around the verse.
All right, we're excited now to give you guys a little something I know you guys have been waiting for. A special treat interview with Tony Zurovic, director of the Persistent Universe. We'll just kick it on over to him.
The last several months have been really busy. We got the first iteration of shopping and persistence out the door, which is something that we've been working towards for quite a while. This was really critical not just for the near-term functionality that it enabled, but also for a lot of upcoming features. We wrapped Levski quite a while ago and were originally planning to release it earlier this year, but the guys in Germany have been making such rapid progress with the procedural planetary stuff that we decided to hold off and release the two things together. This necessitated a bit of retrofitting though. Levski had to be merged into one of those procedural bodies, and it had to have changing boosts added so that you could outfit your character with anything that you'd purchased. We also had to upgrade the number of landing pads since you'll be able to seamlessly fly from space right down to the city, and we wanted to minimize how long you'd have to wait before you could touch down. Artistically, Levski is absolutely gorgeous, with one of the most interesting areas being a Blade Runner-esque bazaar where small vendors will sell all sorts of things. The main area will be pretty safe and secure, but if you want to buy or sell any illicit goods, you're going to need to venture down into the abandoned areas of the facility where it's much more dangerous. More recently, I've been spending more and more time on Subsumption, which is the AI and mission system that's going to drive all the gameplay. I'm working on the architecture and programming the editor, and in general working very closely with Francesco Riccucci in Germany and a lot of other programmers over there in Germany and the UK to bring this entire system into being. Subsumption is going to have a dramatic impact on the gameplay experience because it's going to seriously increase the productivity of the designers that are charged with crafting all of the AI and mission logic. By comparison, the missions that we're currently putting into the game, they take far more time to construct, they aren't nearly as flexible, and they're much more prone to errors. This increase in efficiency, it isn't just about allowing more content, it's also very much about allowing us to create better content. By way of example, think about a bartender. If you want them to look really intelligent, they need to be able to formulate complex responses to a given stimulus. A request from a patron for a drink might cause them to head on over to the sink, grab a glass, walk to the beer tap, use it, then put the drink on the table in front of the customer, and depending upon whether or not they get stiffed, either head back behind the bar or call security. The issue, though, is that you need your characters to be able to respond to lots and lots of different stimuli. A glass that falls on the floor and breaks needs to be swept up. A garbage can that's full needs to be emptied. A rowdy patron needs to be warned to quiet down, and on and on and on. These responses also need to be prioritized. It's okay to stop cleaning dishes to break up a fight, but not vice versa. There are a lot of subtleties, like whether or not a stimulus needs to propagate after a character has agreed to respond. The sound of a gunshot should affect everyone, but a request for a drink can only be filled by a single server. These sub-activities, as I call them, also need to be able to be combined when appropriate. The characters need to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. The problem becomes more apparent when you consider that the game will have a lot more than bartenders. You're going to have shopkeepers, tourists, vandals, security guards, and loads of other types of characters, all of which are going to need, an extensive array of potential responses. These are precisely the types of problems that Subsumption was designed to handle. Cargo transport is one of the first few occupations that we've got on tap. We're currently finalizing the initial set of commodities, setting prices, creating the UI that will allow you to buy and sell these things, and adding the ability to automatically load and unload cargo. Piracy and smuggling should arrive around the same time. As you pillage and plunder within secure zones, your notoriety is going to increase, and you're going to start to attract a lot more attention from the resident security forces. Now, you can, of course, board a ship and take it over, but you'll also have the option of simply destroying the ship and sifting through the wreckage to recover whatever valuable bits and pieces you can find. Retail shops within UEE space won't usually deal in illicit goods, but if you can smuggle your loot into port without being detected, you might be able to find a black market dealer. The last of the initial set of occupations that we're going to bring to the game is going to be the mercenary, which is the merchant's answer to piracy. Mercs are going to earn a living by taking on all sorts of gun-for-hire missions, including responding to merchants that are in immediate distress. Their level of success, their reputation, is going to be tracked so that only the best are offered the most lucrative and important missions. The second set of occupations that we're going to add is going to be mining and salvage. We won't have the dedicated ships necessary for these things until sometime next year, but I'm really anxious to widen the scope of what you can do within the game, and so we're going to be adding some more labor-intensive up-close and personal variations on these jobs. On the mining front, for example, you'll be able to extract small pieces of ore from planetary bodies by hand, although a bit of excavation might be required in order to unearth them. Valuable gases will be able to be collected by affixing a canister onto natural vents and other things of that sort. On the salvage side, a salvage gun will allow you to strip surface materials from a ship and transfer the material into containers. It wouldn't be cost effective, it would just simply take far too long to break down an entire ship like this, but if you know where the most valuable areas are on the different types of ships, then you'll be able to make a pretty good living doing this. One of the things that I most like about adding support for these labor-intensive variations is that it's going to allow any number of players to cooperatively work together. One of the things that we're aiming to do is to make it easier for players with compatible interests to hook up at just the right time. To that end, we're adding a service beacon to every player's Moby class so that they can offer and request services from one another. Now, a player whose ship has been destroyed might need to be picked up, or maybe they need fuel or repairs, but they don't want to have to journey all the way back to a planet or a space station. The service beacon is going to allow them to broadcast what they want, along with some other information like what price they're willing to pay, and other players that are looking to fulfill those types of requests can decide whether or not they want to accept that offer. This dynamism is going to have some interesting ripple effects on the gameplay. When a player is looking to serve as a combat escort, they're implicitly telling you that they're interested in a particular type of gameplay. They're probably the sort of player that, at least for the moment, is looking for a bit of action. A miner, though, doesn't face a constant threat level across their entire journey. So you want to give them the flexibility to spend their security budget where they really need it, which is simultaneously going to increase the likelihood that the players acting as combat escorts are going to get more of the type of gameplay that they're really after. The service beacon is going to allow these kinds of dynamic contractual links to be created and broken between the player community at will, and I think that it's going to not only allow for more interesting gameplay, but also provide a lot more opportunities for players to really get to know one another. One of the upcoming features that I'm most excited about is the procedural planet technology, because it's going to add some totally unique colors to the palette with which we paint scenarios. We'll have plenty of ways to entice you to set down on a planet, exit your ship, and when you're out in the open and vulnerable and racing back to your ship while being strafed from above, that's going to have a totally different feel than being in a dogfight in space or in a straight-on FPS battle. Another feature that's got me really stoked is the server transition technology, which is going to break down the walls between the isolated server instances and start to finally push all of the players within the game together. That's a bit farther out because we have to replace all of the low-level CryEngine network code, but it's going to have a huge impact across a wide spectrum of gameplay, and ultimately it's going to make the entire world feel much more alive.
Fantastic stuff. Thanks, guys. So that's all I got for you this week, guys. Thanks, and we'll see you around.
Welcome everyone once again to the wonderful world of Star Citizen. I'm your host, Community Manager Jared Huckabee. And if you've never seen the wonderful world of Star Citizen before, this is where we highlight the amazing contributions to the overall Star Citizen experience created by the fans themselves. And frankly, no fan contribution has been more unexpected than the ascension of Big Benny's. Now originally, Big Benny's was just a simple vending machine found throughout the nascent Stanton system. But it wasn't long before enterprising Star Citizens took it upon themselves to take these vending machines on tours of the entire playable galaxy, exploring all the places that Big Benny's could go. Videos abounded, memes covered social media, and emergent gameplay was discovered with the Big Benny Summit Challenge, where players used all manner of tricks to bring Big Benny's back to their spawning location on Port Olisar. It's safe to say that Big Benny's, it took on a life of its own. Now, to celebrate this contribution that the community has made to the Star Citizen experience, we've worked with the original creator of the Big Benny's theme song to expand it into a 4-minute odyssey of noodle consumption. Then, we worked with the Star Citizen community itself over 3 months to gather footage of Big Benny's in every place you could possibly put it. Then, we worked with community video editor Years 100 to cut this together so that it is truly a Star Citizen community endeavor.
Hey everyone, my name is Years100, and I just have a couple things I'd like to say to y'all before you watch this video. First of all, thank you to Cloud Imperium Games and Jared Huckabee for allowing me to work on this. It was a really different project than what I've done in the past, and so it was a lot of fun to be a part of. But I'd also like to thank you guys, the Star Citizens, for all the videos and pictures that you provided on the forums. Without your hard work and amazing contributions, this wouldn't have been possible, so I'm very, very grateful to all of you. Thank you very much again, and I hope you enjoy the video. Have a good one. Bye.
Now with that, we present to you the world premiere of The Ballad of Big Benny's.
Hey there, Tyler Whitkin, Community Manager in the Austin, Texas studio, here to bring you this week's MVP. When you think of awesome Star Citizen screenshots, you probably think of this individual. I want to give a huge congratulations to Haskaha for his public service announcements, helping those who may have become a little too addicted to a certain cup of noodles. And now we're going to take a first look at the latest addition to the series, which should be on the Community Hub right now. Congratulations, sir. You're this week's MVP. Back to you guys.
100 episodes. That's quite an achievement and one that I think we're all very proud of. I want to first of all thank the fans for contributing over 3 months worth of videos for that Ballad of Big Benny's video you just saw. Without you guys, obviously that video would not have been possible, so thanks for that. Making this 100th episode of Around the Verse special, I think has been really, really important to us. Obviously, we're breaking up into 4 chunks so we can highlight each studio. You guys have made this wild ride so much fun. I know being on Around the Verse for a while now, giving the studio updates, I always look at the comments you guys leave, and it's always really positive and supportive. So I want to thank you guys for that. You guys mean the world to us.
Cool.
So thanks for everything.
Yeah, thanks for everybody in the Austin studio that's taken a lot of time this week to put together segments that we've shared today. Thanks for the guys and gals behind the scenes that are putting this all together. And we're looking forward to this new format where we show as much or more than we tell. And the goal is to rotate so that each month you'll get a big major update from each studio to hear about what's going on in that studio.
So now, of course, we can't leave you without a fast forward, so we want to give you that to you guys now. So check it out. Be sure to tune in to Reverse the Verse tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Pacific time on Twitch.
Yeah, and thank you to our subscribers for making this show possible. Without you, we wouldn't be here. And as always, we'll see you
around the verse.
Did you know that many of Star Citizen's developers are on social media? If you would like to follow Star Citizen on Facebook, you can find us here.
Or on Twitter, here.
And even Instagram, here.
And for a full list of developers' personal accounts they're willing to share with the community, check out this link. You can find out what I bought at Amazon this week.
Star Wars stuff.
It was probably Star Wars stuff.